and gentlemen, welcome back to the Locks of the Day podcast. This is episode number 18, and I'm here once again with Zach and Andrew. Today, we're going to go over last week's recap on which, for the Thursday night football teaser, we cashed on our 3-unit play, which was the Detroit Lions money line and over 40 at a minus 115. And then for Sunday NFL podcast picks, we went 2-2, minus 1.65 units. But we are now up 91.85 units total this NFL season. That is ridiculous. We are coming up on 100 units, which is insane. Clearly up 91.85 units. If you had $100 units and we're playing our plays, you'd be up over $9,000. It's wild. But anyways, today we're going to lock you in with the NHL and NBA premium locks. And then, of course, Thursday night football with the Rams versus the 49ers picks before we transition into our NFL Sunday locks as always. So we'll go over NFL Sunday's recap for last week. So, Andrew, I'll give it to you for the first 3-star.
Yeah, sadly, had Cardinals. They lost 30-18 against the Seahawks. Looked good at the start of the game. Kyler went down 6 plays, scored a touchdown, then next 2 drives threw 2 interceptions, and then it went downhill from there. So wasn't what we wanted there, but we'll get you a dub this week for sure.
Yep. Little L. It's all right. Got a dub coming from you this week anyways. Lock. My 3-star was on the Carolina Panthers, Adam Thielen, 40-plus receiving yards at a minus 130. That cashed. He had 9 receptions for 102 yards. He went off, had a game. Expect him to keep doing pretty well with Bryce Young if they keep clicking like that. Anyway, so then my 2-star was Chargers plus 10.5 and under 51.5 at a minus 150 versus the Chiefs. That cashed on Sunday Night Football. They lost 19-17 in a little tight game, as the Chiefs always win in a tight game. We'll see if that happens this week. Anyways, Zach, give him your 2-star that you had, kid.
Someone was sitting. I had Raiders and Bucks over 46. Just like Andrew's pick, looked good. Looked good at halftime. We had 24 points. It was 14-10. Raiders came out in the third quarter, just wanted to work a 10-minute drive to start, throw a pick on the goal line. Aiden O'Connell gets murdered in the pocket, gets hurt, and we miss it by a couple points. So Bucks did their job. Raiders let us down. We miss it by a couple points. So
Exactly. That was the L, was the interception right on the goal, like on the 5-yard line or something. I'm like, come on. That would have cashed it too. But anyway, so yeah, we went 2-2 for NFL Sunday. So now we'll swing it into the NHL locks for today. So Andrew, I know you got the 3-star kid.
Yep. So today, 3-star will be the Florida Panthers money line. It's a minus 145. They're in Vancouver tonight. Uh, Past couple podcasts for NHL has been absolutely free money. Uh, just like this one. This is another 2-game East Coast versus West Coast series. Canucks won the first one in Florida, 3-2 in overtime. Little tight game there. I kind of see the same thing, but Florida's going to win. They're going to split these 2 games out. Panthers have been hot too, winning their last 6 to 7 games. Sam Reinhart's just been going absolutely stupid. He's got 39 points already. Love the Panthers here. It's a good spot for them. Minus 145 is pretty good for the last year's Cup winner, so I'll take that all day. Lock that in.
Oh,
Minus
money line.
Panthers.
Yep, love that. Then swing right into the 2-star for NHL. Got the Minnesota Wild money line plus 125 versus the Oilers on FanDuel. The Wild are 19-5-4 versus the Oilers, who are 16-10-2. The thing is, the Wild are first in the entire league for goals against, while only giving up 2.39 goals per game. Wild. Both their goalies, Philip Gustafsson and Marc-Andre Fleury, are absolute locks this season. Both have well over a 900 save percentage and goals against near a 2 flat, which once again is wild. Giving up the least goals in the league obviously makes it much easier to win hockey games, plain and simple. And don't think that they can't produce on offense, because they are top 12 in goals per game as well. Kirill Kaprizov, second in the league in points this season. He's on an absolute tear. No debate there. Matthew Boldy's a stud, as well as Marco Rossi, who's been playing great too. Yeah, of course, the Oilers have, McDavid, Draisaitl, but they really can't win you every game all season long. And the Oilers goalies both have under a 900 save percentage as well, which doesn't really help them when the Wild only give up 2.39 goals per game. So, I mean, if you're going to give us plus value, you know we love our pluses. So for the 2-star, I'll take the Minnesota Wild money line plus 125. Lock it in at home, of course. And so we'll swing it into the NBA picks that Zach has. So lock them in over there, kid.
Yeah. Our three starts tonight is going to be the Pistons and Celtics over 226 at a minus 125. This line is jumping and it's jumping quick. We looked at it last night. It was at a 226 flat. It's almost at 228 now. So these two teams have met twice this season. Celtics are 2-0 in those games so far. The Pistons against the spread are 2-0 in those games, but the over is 2-0 so far. And the reason for that being is that the Celtics are averaging about 115 points a game. And that's just as a team in total. So far in those two games, they've put up about 130 points almost in both games against the Pistons. And the Pistons have done a good job of keeping up with them. And Pistons are keeping this game close because they're able to score with a high-powered offense like the Celtics. And I mean, for total points wise, you've seen 250 points and 242 points so far just in these two meetings apiece. And I think the line is just set really low in this game for there only being a couple of games tonight. And like I said, the line's going up quick. It's probably going to go up to at least about 230 before the game, if not more. So I think getting it at this line, I think is just you're getting good value here. And I think, at a minus 125, 226 is a pretty good play.
Absolutely. Do you have a 2-star as well for NBA or no?
Yeah. For our 2-star, we got Tyler Hero over 33 and a half points, rebounds, and assists at another minus 125. And Hero's had an increase in his shots over the last 10 games. He's looking at, on average, about 15 to 16 shots in his last 10 games. Not to mention that he's averaging 5 rebounds and 5 assists on top of that. And he's played the Raptors so far this season. He's dropped 31 points and 23 points in those games. And he only missed the clip in one of those games just by a half. So, I mean, for his totals, he's hit over 40 and he hit 33. So, in this game tonight, I think the Raptors being a little bit poor defensively and no Scotty Barnes, I think Tyler Hero is going to be a massive difference maker in that game.
Love that over there, Zach. So there's your NHL and NBA premium locks for Thursday, which is today, of course. And now, since it's Thursday, right into the Rams versus 49ers. Good old Thursday night football. Andrew, we've been cashing teasers, kid. Keep them hot.
We're gonna keep them hot too. We're gonna keep them hot. We got a little lock for you, okay? We're gonna go with the 49ers money line and under 60 and a half. It's a plus 100. Got to get that on Fanatics if you want to move the over under higher. But even though 49ers they have a sub 500 record, still have a top 5 defense in the league. They're third in least amount of total yards given up with 298, I'm pretty sure. And Niners are also third for least amount of passing yards given up with 182. It's currently a no-fly zone here in San Fran, obviously. That defense is just stupid. They got names just, I mean, that Fred Warner guy's he's been going crazy, always going crazy.
Best in the league, but yeah.
Dude, yeah, he's nuts. But Niners being banged up, I think they'll still be able to pick apart this Rams defense that's been absolutely the downfall to their season as well, kind of like the Bengals. Good offense, terrible defense. Rams ranked fifth worst in the entire league against the passing game and are also bottom 10 against the run. Rams struggle. Rams defense is a complete struggle bus, and I don't see them figuring out their defense against the 49ers. And this division is super tight. These games matter big time, especially at the end of the season. I think there's 2 game difference between the top and the bottom team. Seattle's 8-5, I'm pretty sure, and the 49ers are at the bottom, which is wild, at 6-7. So yeah, only 2 wins here separate the top and bottom. And 49ers and Rams have already played each other once this year. Rams won that. I'm pretty sure it was like the 3rd game of the season for them. Rams won that game 27-24. So I like a little divisional split here. In the under, it's not bad because the over got smacked the first game. So you can give me 60 and a half and 49ers money line, and you're gonna put that at a plus. We're gonna smack that. We're gonna smack that all day with 3 units.
Absolutely. It's a lot of points they'd have to put up. That's for sure. Anyway, so now we'll get into our two-star for tonight, which is also on San Fran. We have Deebo Samuel under 4.5 receptions at a minus 150 on DraftKings. Deebo hasn't gotten 5 or more receptions since week 10, which is when he got 5 on the dot. And before that, it was simply just the first 2 weeks of the season when he got 5 and 8. So, I mean, he's played 12 games this season. He's only gotten 5+ receptions 3 times. So that's 25% of the time. So you're basically telling me we can take a minus 150 line on something that's cashed 75% of the time. That's pretty good value right there. Plus, Debo has looked terrible this year, clearly. I mean, if you've watched any San Fran games, you're expecting Debo to do something, and he never does. He doesn't show up. You got Juwan Jennings, who's playing better than him this year. I mean, last time the Niners played the Rams, Debo didn't play, but Jennings made a name for himself that game. That's when he put up 11 receptions, 175 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not that he's going to do that again today, but probably will have a better game than Debo, I'm sure, because he is better than Debo, plain and simple. Then you got George Kittle as well on the offense, who's having an exceptional season. I don't even know how many touchdowns he's got, but it's a lot. And then I know the running back, Isaac Guerendo, he's expected to play tonight, so that doesn't hurt them. So at least they do have a runner, because I don't even know who the running back is behind him, because CMC is down, Jordan Mason's down, and Guerendo's almost down. Like, who's next? But anyways, he should be playing, so they're set there, which is also why we like Niners. And I mean, yeah, Debo's just kind of fallen behind the scenes in this offense, clearly, and that's why I don't see him getting 5 catches here. So 2-star tonight, like I said, Deebo Samuel under 4.5 receptions at a minus 150. Lock it in. Then we will transition into the good old NFL Sunday. So Andrew, I know you got the 3-star as well, kid. Get them going.
Yes, little 3-star for Sunday. It's gonna be a little parlay. It's a two-legger. We're gonna go with the Bengals money line and then the Eagles money line, and they're playing the Steelers. That comes out to a plus 100. I think the Bengals are minus like 220, and the Eagles are a little bit up there, like minus 250. Both games are like a minus 5.5 point spread, which I'm not really a fan of. I expect both these games to be close, but both Bengals and Eagles are going to pull through without a doubt. Uh, Bengals desperately, they need this win to keep their playoff dreams alive. They still have one of the top 10 offenses in the league, most efficient. Throwing the ball, they got 270 passing yards a game and only averaging 90 rushes a game. So you could just tell Burrow and Chase are absolutely dialed. Burrow leads the league right now in passing yards, and Chase, of course, leads the league in receiving yards by a couple hundred, which is wild. Those two have been going crazy. Chase also leads the league in wide receiving touchdowns with 15. I think the next closest person to him is like 9. Like, those two are going absolutely insane. Uh, this offense can score at will, and I think they will towards the end of the game. That's why I don't like this 5 point spread. I just like the money line to keep it safe. I think it's going to be a last second score or maybe a field goal or something. Just so the Bengals are going to win. But I don't like the covering. I don't know who's going to cover that game. And that goes the same for as Eagles too. I don't like the spread. I love the money lines here. Um, Eagles are fucking hot right now. Like, they are just cooking. They're on a 9 win streak, I'm pretty sure. That will improve to 10. Last week against the Panthers was looking a little rough there at the end. Looked like they were going to lose, but obviously not. Panthers scored, went up by 1. But good teams do what they need to do at the end of the game. They scored, and that's what the Eagles exactly did. They went down 8 plays, bang, bang, TD. Then the Panthers took it, looked completely lost, turned it over on downs 2 times in a row. And Panthers were literally just there to cover that 13-point spread. And with this game, I can see the same thing with the Eagles playing the Steelers. Last minute touchdown, last minute field goal, something. Got a little in-state rivalry here. So I expect a really good game, low scoring. Eagles defense has been completely dialed in, uh, letting up the least amount of yards per game in the NFL with 284, and they're tied in second for least amount of points given up. Steelers are also right there too with only letting up 18.3. So probably a heavy run game, low scoring, and I'll take Saquon Barkley over Najee Harris any day of the week. So give me Eagles, give me Bengals, parlay that plus 100, which I think that's incredible odds for minus 250s, two minus 250s. Toss that in, lock it up, 3 units on it. Bang.
Love it. Then we'll get you the other 3-star for NFL Sunday. Little dog play, all right? We got the Indianapolis Colts money line plus 170 versus the Broncos on ESPN Bet or FanDuel, both plus 170. Absolutely love this pick. First off, the Colts are 6-7. The Broncos are 8-5. I don't really care about their record at all. Colts have a pretty solid young wide receiver core with Josh Downs, who's supposed to play, and then of course Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell. Pierce has really showed his skills, his skill set this year. He's a stud. He's no crazy wide receiver one, but he's just a good player in the offense. Josh Downs, also a stud. Then, of course, Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, who's simply just a great and powerful runner. Can't complain with him back there. And the Colts are also 2 games back in their division to the Texans, which, meanwhile, the Colts' remaining schedule is the Broncos this week, then the Titans next week, then the Giants, and then the Jaguars. So there is no team even close to above 500 besides the Broncos this week. And then the Texans, on the other hand, who lead that division by 2 games, their remaining schedule is the Dolphins this week. Then they play the Chiefs. Then they play the Ravens, the Titans. So just expect the Colts to at least make a run at the division. I'm not saying they're going to win the division because they probably won't, but they will make a run at it and at least make it interesting, which is what the NFL wants, of course. And just know those last couple of weeks will matter. They're not going to make the last week or two of NFL season be useless because no one's going to watch. If everyone already clinched their spot, why would anyone tune in? There's no point. Broncos, on the other hand, are a fraud playoff team in my eyes, and I think they're going to miss the playoffs. Simple. They play the Colts, of course, this week, which I think they'll lose, and they'll become 8-6. Then they play the Chargers, and then the Chiefs. So, yes, Bo Nix has had a very good rookie season, and the Broncos have hope for the future, but not this year. This year, they're not a playoff team. I don't care. And they will start slipping again this week against the Colts, who will be fighting for a playoff spot against the Texans. And last thing, this game, Colts money line plus 170, don't stress it. Don't stress this game in the first half. Whatever happens in the first half, just let it be. We'll start worrying about the game when it comes down to the fourth quarter and it actually matters, and then we'll see what the outcome is. But just know, Indianapolis Colts 3-star money line plus 170, lock it in. Zach, I'll send it over to you for the 2-star kid.
Yeah. Our 2 stars would be the Saints plus 8.5 at minus 120. And just like you said, making things interesting, the Saints are still fighting for the NFC South with how poor that division's been. It's been as much of a dumpster fire as things have been for them. The injuries, the firing of the head coach, everything's going wrong. You're thinking, oh, this team's 5-8. They're just looking forward to next year. Well, the division leader's only 7-6. They're only 2 games back. And the Saints have played a lot better since they fired their head coach. They're 3-1 since that. So something's starting to click. And the Commanders own one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. And Alvin Kamara is getting a lot of touches now. Last week against the Giants wasn't doing too great, but against the Rams put up 112 rushing yards with about 45 receiving yards. So he's starting to get back to his old self. He's nearing 1,000 rushing yards, and he's going to be getting the ball a lot this Sunday. And even if it's not going to him, what's it going to do? It's going to free up the passing game for Derek Carr. So this Saints offense, I think, is really going to click against this Commanders defense. And I think Jaden Daniels is going to struggle a little bit on the road. He hasn't done too well in his home versus road splits. There is a little bit of a difference in his stats about he throws for about 30 less passing yards and he rushes for a little bit less as well. So I think you're going to see in this game a lot of rushing from him just because the defense is going to be sending pressure and pressure and pressure all throughout the game trying to get to Jaden Daniels. And I think this line is just a little bit too high. I think this game also could be a trap as well. I think the big thing right now is that you're seeing that half the Saints players are questionable for Sunday, where if you actually go to look, it's like Alvin Kamara has a cold. Come on. He's playing. He's playing. Come on. He's got a cold. You know who else had a cold? Michael Jordan. He played. Alvin Kamara, same thing. Derek Carr, hand hurts. Left hand. Not even the throwing. Come on. They're playing Sunday. I think the value here is just too good. I just think it's too many points. So the Saints plus 8.5 at a minus 120 is our 2-star.
Beautiful. And then so I'll lock it in with the last 2-star for NFL Sunday. Clearly we're seeing some value on Sunday here for you fellas. Crazy pick here for the 2-star. We got the Cleveland Browns money line, 80. Chiefs. ESPN bet, or you can get it plus 175 on FanDuel or Fanatics, whatever you want. The Browns, they're 3-10. The Chiefs, they're 12-1. Is LocksOTD predicting the Chiefs' second loss of the season? Yes, they are. And will they predict right? Yes, they will. It just sounds crazy, right? But it's going to happen. The Browns at home with a great defense. Myles Garrett, who you can easily argue is the best defensive player in the NFL. It's hard to actually argue against that unless you want to say like TJ Watt. That's about it. He also has 11 sacks, which is second in the NFL, yet he is double and triple covered, probably the most in the entire league. So it's actually even more impressive being second in the NFL, yet probably covered the most. Jameis Winston, star of the NFL, he can throw for 500 yards on any given night, clearly, and he's always good for a pick or two and, a simple, great speech, maybe pregame, postgame. You're going to get something out of J-Mo. And not J-Mo as in Jameson Williams, of course, who is our other stud. But Jameis Winston, getting myself mixed up here. Stud, face of the NFL. I don't really care. Him versus Mahomes, that's a show right there. And I'm tuning in. They got me interested. Jerry Jeudy's been an absolute beast. Then you got Cedric Tillman, who's coming back this game. David Njoku, he's a great tight end. They have real offensive weapons. Not saying the Browns, they're out of playoffs. They're not making playoffs. They're just going to do their job this week and cash our plus 180. Realistically, the Chiefs as well, they haven't impressed me this year in the slightest. They may win the Super Bowl, come playoff time, but right now in the regular season, they are not a true 12-1 team. They're just not. You can only get lucky so many times. And I saw a weird stat, but if you reversed outcome of one-score games, I believe the Chiefs are 11 or something like that, or something crazy.
Yeah.
You have something, Andrew? Yeah,
2-11. Yeah, they're 2-11. If it comes down to the last minute and a half or 2 minutes of the game, the record is nowhere near what they should be. They should be the worst team in the NFL by a million, and it's not even funny.
Yeah. No, they're literally bottom lot, they're dead bottom of the league if you reverse one-score games. Obviously, that's not a real, it's not the truth. They're fucking 12, whatever they are. But obviously, they win games by very little, and you can only get lucky so many times, like I said, and it ain't happening this week. And the Browns, they're no slouch. You don't just roll over them. Also, look at the line. It's a little weird to you that the line's only a plus 180. Some books even only plus 165. A little weird with a 3-10 team versus the best team in the league, 12-1. Come on. But yeah, so that's our 2-star. Cleveland Browns money line, plus 180 versus the Chiefs. Lock it in. You heard it here first. Don't sleep on it either just because it's a plus and it's versus the Chiefs. Second loss of the season coming. Anyways, you fellas got anything else?
Locksmith, 15th. I'm dialed.
Locksmith. So that's why make sure you follow us at Instagram at LocksOTD. We have 10 days of Locksmiths, which we do every year from the December 15th to December 25th of Christmas, of course. Just one lock per day, our favorite pick every day, which is equivalent to our $50 hammer play. And I mean, yeah, you just get locked in every day. Literally, like I said, our favorite pick. We put time and effort into every single pick as it is. So if we're giving you our favorite pick of the entire day, that means something. So get locked in with Locksmith. December 15th, it starts. It's a few days, 3 days away. DM us at LocksOTD on Instagram if you're interested, and let's lock in. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to Locks of the Day podcast number 18, and we will see you next Thursday. Let's cash out this week and tonight, fellas. Peace.